Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Hey, welcome to A Creator-Based Life, the podcast for the Creator-Based Way and CMH Coaching. I'm here with Jacine today.
Hi, guys.
Jacine Bonnet. Yep. Jacine is a business coach, but more than a business coach.
Sometimes a
Jacine,
couch too.
yeah, sometimes a couch. I kind of feel like a couch today, but some more than a business coach. Jacine is a creator-based coach,
Yeah.
and she does all things in her creator. And that makes her an exceptional business coach, and it makes her a really good person. So we are grateful that Jacine's here. Jen is home nursing her wing, which, you guys, I have to report, is improving. Her pain level is down, and she is beginning to figure out how to do things left-handed. So it's happening.
It is. It is.
And we will be excited to have her back soon. And you know me, I'm Beth, the master life coach who can't talk about herself and would rather be a couch. But I wrote this book called The Creator-Based Way, Your Guide to the One Amazing Perfect Life, that I can never remember the title of, but it is a great book. And it's in revision right now because Jacine and I both have agreed it needs 4 more chapters. And then again, but it is going to come out the end of the year. And I am the owner of CMH Coaching and the author of The Creator-Based Way. Not the book, but the whole thing. Actually, that comes from God, but that is the plan. It was inspired by him. So we come every week in hopes of creating joy in your life and helping you understand how to create the life you want. And today we have news. Big news. But before we tell you our big news, we're going to talk just a little bit, yes, big, about a 10th C. Because we did this whole 9-week-long series of the 9 C's. But you know what? Without the 10th C, it's really not nothing.
True.
So, Jacine, you want to talk a little bit about that 10th C? And I'll try and be quiet, not interrupt you.
The 10th C.
Yeah, if Jen were here, she would give us all 9 of them.
She would, because she remembers everything.
She does. She has such an amazing memory.
So the 10th C is, if I get this wrong, it's Christ-centered, right?
It is. It's Christ-centered. It's creator-centered, which is the whole basis of the creator-based way. Is it's centered in our creator. Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
Funny.
I felt like I was in school. Like, oh my gosh.
You're in the headlights. Wait, what's the 10th C? Yeah.
I know that. I think I know that.
Well, and I know the name of my book too, but every single week I come on and botch it. Who knows?
It's so great. That, honestly, that is my favorite C of all times, just because, in fact, this morning I was journaling a little bit, and it was all about so Beth and I talk about miracles, and Jen, we have our miracle call in the mornings, and we talked this morning, and we're like, yeah, we've gotten kind of distracted or
Complacent, I think was a
complacent.
word you used. Yeah.
Yeah, complacent in our looking for miracles. And so as I was repenting of that this morning, with God, he just spoke to my mind and my heart, and he said, always remember wonder and awe.
Oh,
And then his next instruction was look at and look for the smallest of things, and in them you will see the intricacies of God's most marvelous works. Don't you love that?
oh, I do love that. That's so cool. It's spring here in North Texas, and the birds are just seeking out nests. We have 5 barn swallows that are fighting over the nest on the front porch.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it has been so fun to watch. I'm not quite sure who won, but it has quieted now, and somebody's laying eggs in that nest. But the intricacies, we sit on the back porch for lunch and for breakfast usually, and enjoy the sunshine and watch. People just laugh at me, but it's like you watch the leaves open.
Yeah.
You watch the grass grow, you watch the birds make their nests, you watch in awe and wonder the
Mhm.
beauty unfolding right before your eyes as you sit there and eat your breakfast. It's like the best movie ever. Only it's
And
real.
right. And having that creator centered mindset really, really puts us in touch with those small intricacies. And, it takes me back to where the crawdads sing, the book
Yes.
where the crawdads sing. And, I think one of my favorite parts of that book was how, I don't even remember the character's name, but was that she would go out each day and she studied like the dragonflies, the different dragonflies and their wings and how they interacted with each other. And then how they interacted affected another species and how that affected. And we talk about the ripple effect, right? It's those
Yeah.
intricacies, those small intricacies that create that ripple effect. And one of the things I was thinking about were the cells. Yeah, we think about the cells of our body, but I thought about the cells like in an orange. Like you pull apart that little skin and you look at each little cell, each little pod filled with juice, right?
Oh, yeah. So good.
And on its own, it's not much. I mean, you could take one of those little tiny things and maybe you could get like a little taste, but
Uh-huh.
when you put it together, look what it becomes and how many things we can make from it. And it's just those intricacies are so, so important. And to me, that Christ-centered or creator-centered that's it.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's what makes it all fit together is that 10th C.
Mhm.
Without our creator, without a center on our creator, I should say, because
Yeah.
he's there whether we decide to pay attention or not.
Mhm.
But when we are centered and we're paying attention, that's when those C's that we've talked about in the centered self really manifest. That's when we feel calm or we feel confident or
Mhm.
courageous. I wish there was one that was patient, but I don't think there is one that was patient, but there is compassionate. And
Which
I
is
really love
patient.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the loving kindness that comes with, in compassion, I believe
Right.
is patient. But
Right.
being centered in our creator just makes all the difference. It's what supercharges it. It's like turning the light on in a dark room. Everything was all there before, but you couldn't see it
Right.
until you invited the light.
Right.
Yeah, it's just amazing. So then the question comes, if we need to stay centered in our creator, how do we do that? I mean, I can hear all of y'all that are out there with little kids who are just flat laughing and going, oh my gosh, she watches the grass grow. No, be real, right?
Like us when we were younger, we would have been like, oh, that is so old
I
person.
would have
Oh,
like rolled my eyes at least 5 times by now and gone,
huh.
there's no way. There is just no way that I have so much to do already. How could I possibly? Right.
Right. Right.
And then you roll your eyes and you go, oh my gosh, that's such a grandma thing to say.
But think
I
of,
was so guilty of that.
I know, me too. But and in that, we just have to reframe, right? So when we're in those busy times of our lives, you know, think of that little child's hand wrapped around your finger.
Exactly. And I know that when you're younger, your circumstance, you notice those things, right? Or the way the sun glints off their hair, or the way they smell,
Yep,
not before the bath, but after. Yes. Aubrey says her little boys smell like puppies before the bath.
that's truth.
Yeah, a little boy smell. But it's the noticing those little things. The texture.
Acknowledging, not acknowledging them, right?
Oh, yeah, it's not noticing as much. You're right, noticing, but then you have to go the next step and acknowledge.
Yeah. And
I
then
like
have
that.
acknowledge and then have the gratitude, right?
Right.
The
Okay, so
gratitude or rejoicing. Isn't that
this
what brings the joy?
gratitude and rejoicing, that's the joy. And the interesting thing is, I heard somebody talking this morning about the word hearken, and
Mm.
that hearken means to hear and to do. But they added a third dimension
Oh.
that I really didn't care for,
Oh,
which is why it stuck with me.
is it a
And
rule follower?
it was to listen and to comply,
Oh, yep. Rule following thing. Yep.
right? And I'm like, I don't
That's
like that word
rebel. That's rebel.
comply, because it always felt like it was something distasteful that I had to do
Yeah.
regardless, right?
Mm.
But what I've learned in the things in the study that I've done just this morning is that to comply involves humility, and involves willingness, and involves trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when you're looking for something like the goodness and the miracles and the noticing, but then the complying, or
Yeah.
the listening and the doing, it
Yeah.
really involves willingness and trust, which are two things, along with patience, that are on my to-do list. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I think they're on everybody's to-do list: patience and trust and willingness. I'm better at willingness, but not as good at patience and trust.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very situational for me. That and who I'm with, whether I'm going
Hmm.
to have that trust, whether I'm going to comply with, right?
I'm going to go do some more research on the word comply and see if there is a more palatable synonym that I can work with,
Right. Well,
because for some reason the rebel in me just will not do the whole comply thing.
I think like I always wanted to be compliant with my teachers because I wanted to please them, right? The pleaser in me was, oh, of course I want to do this because I want you to be proud of me and for my
Right.
parents
Yeah.
and certain of my brothers.
Certain of your brothers, depending what standing you had with them. Yes.
Yeah, not all of them, but
Yep.
like there are certain people that I would willingly, and because I love them so much, right?
Right. That it's that love that you feel, that connection that you feel.
Yeah, that's why I would want that. But to say that as a blanket statement is, yeah, that is fingernails on a chalkboard. I
It
think for
is
a
for me.
lot of us women, in my mom's day and age, that wouldn't have been so. I don't know about, how about your mom, Beth?
No, those of us born after 1960 in general
Yeah,
would not have compliant be a good word. I don't know
right.
about my mom. My mom was born in 1931. So
Hmm.
she was raised in that era when women were more seen than heard. But in the 1960s and 70s, she was right out there for the ERA. So
Oh, that,
we're
yeah.
just,
It's like,
yeah.
no, this is not
I
right.
think she always wanted that, and then just needed to have a place for her voice, because the
Yeah.
times had to catch up. But when you go back to the compliance and the hearken and the notice and the do, um, thinking about trust, when, like you pointed out, it depends, it's situational who we're
Hmm.
with.
Hmm.
So for me, in a creator based way,
Hmm.
when I think of my creator, I do trust.
Yeah.
And so I would delight, nope, can't say that. I would be willing to comply. There's still
Hmm.
a really prideful part of me, or maybe a not trustful part of me, that doesn't really want to completely comply. unless I
Right.
could ask questions first.
Well, and I think he
Does
wants
compliance involve asking questions?
absolutely
Oh, if I could ask questions, then I'm
one
all in. Yeah.
100%. I think that's a misnomer that I think a lot of people have with the spiritual realm, with churches, and I know that,
Any kind of organized religion
yeah, that, oh, you must follow these rules, right?
blindly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
blindly, and
no.
just do it. And that's really not how it's set up to be, right? It's
Well, it's certainly not a creator based way because a
no.
creator based way is all about your personal choice and
And
your personal
curiosity,
power.
curiosity, like Jen,
Yeah,
right?
curiosity.
Like curiosity. And there's I need to mark this and I need to memorize where it's at. But in the Bible, it's um the, the gist of it is that the Father wants to give you all that he has, right? And
Mhm.
in giving us all that he has, I think so often in my younger years, it's only been recently I've begun to think of it in a different sense. In my younger years, it was all about accumulating things like
Right?
blessings in heaven, like um, the mansions are going to be prepared for us,
Uh-huh. All about the stuff
this stuff.
and the
Yeah.
security.
What am I going to earn? Right? What am
Mhm.
I going to earn?
Yeah, and
And
doing.
yeah, and I have come to realize, and I'm going to be just real frank with you guys who are listening to us. I started this process of really really thinking differently because of CMH coaching. And I'm not plugging it at all. I'm just being really 100% honest and upfront because it is a different way of thinking when we put it creator based. And as I started this process and what I'm learning about all that the Father hath, when Jesus Christ is talking about all that the Father hath, think of the knowledge that he has. Think of,
Yes, the understanding.
yes, yes, knowing all things. And if he wants us to know what he knows, he does.
Mhm.
And
Just like you want your kids to know what you know.
yeah, just for
Yeah.
safety and protection and for love and for peace and for joy and all those things is if we know what he knows, even a glimpse, then that's what I want, all that he has, right?
Yeah.
And that requires me asking questions, but then also listening when some of the things that he says are maybe hard to hear. Like, you should really repent for that thought you just had about that person that was just walking by that was super annoying to you, or
Uh-huh.
in the car next to you, or whatever,
Well, and what I love is when you get that feeling you should really repent, it's because you will be happier if you choose to let go of that and to
yeah,
turn back. Yeah. It's
yeah.
not any kind of weird punishment or even really correction as much as it's just you'll be happier if you think differently.
Just acknowledge that thought process, right?
Right. Mhm.
And there's part of me that that's compliance, right? Do I
Yes.
choose to do that right then? Because it is a gift, right? That repentance that has like this yucky connotation to it, I think, in
But
the world.
that's not the creator based way. That's not the Lord's way. The Lord's way is just turn to Him and change.
Yes.
So anywhere you see the word repent, you can say change.
Yeah.
Turn to God and change. That's
Turn to
it.
God
Just
and
change and
change.
be better. And you
Change.
know what I just connected with compliant
Yeah.
is choose. If we put the word choose in front of it, I could totally comply all day long if I choose compliance.
Right. But don't
Yeah.
make me, right? Don't make me
It's
do
right. It's
anything.
not a force thing. It's being curious and choosing.
I had a lot of opportunities to change my thoughts last week when I was at the clinic opening. You guys, if you saw me last week, I was in a brand new clinic that we were just opening, and I was with a person that
That was difficult
contacts,
to be with.
that contracts me, and he is a challenge for me personally. For others it may not be, but for me personally, it's a big challenge. And I had so many opportunities to reframe my thoughts. Just
To practice.
yes, yes. One of the things that I don't like is when I'm already doing something, having somebody come up and tell me what I need to do. Like that, just, I'm like, I am 61 years old. I am older than you. I've been doing this longer than you. Shut up. Like, yeah,
I love
honestly,
it. And
I
does
just,
it ever really bubble up, or is it just in your head?
no, like he got the look. And then I was like, all right, at least it was just a look. I kept my words inside.
Uh-huh.
It
Uh-huh.
wasn't my out loud voice. It was my out
Uh-huh.
loud face, but not my out loud voice.
Uh-huh.
And he backed off. But then, it starts with you have that thought, and then it starts to eat you up, right? I'm going to speak for me. It just starts to like gnaw at me, like, how
Mhm.
dare he? How rude?
Well,
What?
and I get
Oh,
pressure that
stop.
starts to build, like, and it just keeps coming up until it, like, word vomit
Like,
if I
till we flip
don't
our
check
lid,
it.
till we flip our
Yes,
lid,
like Jen's flip your lid.
flip your
Yes.
lid.
Oh,
And I'm
gotta
not,
tuck the amygdala down into the brain,
yep,
though.
amygdala.
Yes,
And then it flips. Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
because then it's going crazy.
yes. Yes. So,
Yes.
so in that, just because I've been so immersed in the creator-based way, in the creator-based life, it gave me that opportunity to recognize my body at that very moment and be like, oh, wait a second, I don't
I
like this.
feel
This
this.
is, I feel this, and I have a choice. I have a
Mhm.
choice right now. And part of that choice was I have to change my physiology. Sometimes I couldn't stand up and walk. Sometimes it was just under my desk doing the tapping, just,
Uh-huh. I love tapping under the desk. Yes.
yeah, because
It's
nobody could
crazy.
see, nobody had any idea, right? But I'm just tapping, and it's like that in that peace, and it's like, okay, I can calm down. I have,
Well, and
oh,
I can choose my
yeah,
presence, what my presence is going to be, because I can turn to my creator and be back centered in him.
yes,
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 I can actually create those C's within myself when I am creator centered.
yes.
And coming back into that through tapping or through working with the sentences in your head
Mm-hmm.
or the images in your head that are beginning to percolate up. Yeah,
Yeah. And then
huge.
without it coming out, without me speaking things or saying
Right,
something to another person
right.
who who's in the clinic that, respects this person, because he should be respected. He
He has
really
earned that
is.
place.
Oh my gosh, he's so smart, and he cares so much.
Mhm.
His delivery style and my delivery style are not
Yeah,
always, yeah, they're not always congruent. But
yeah.
and that's helping me to think differently. But I was so grateful because when we can stop and interrupt those thoughts, we don't get ourselves into trouble by going somewhere else. And then that gets back to that person. And then you have to
And
worry,
you
oh
make
gosh, I
drama.
said this and I hope it doesn't get back, or
Mhm.
whatever it is, that drama
The
triangle.
drama triangle.
It nips it in the bud. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Being
that's
able to choose. We've done this, I don't know, in coaching, you probably remember, where you're having that really seriously negative thought about an individual,
mhm,
and you're realizing that that is not a place for you to maintain happiness.
right.
And so you reach out to your creator and you say, oops, thank you
Mm,
for helping me notice that I'm having this thought that's not going to lead anywhere good. And then
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do better. Will you give me another thought? And
Hmm.
then listening. And you're listening like you were talking about, you're listening within your body, feeling your body, and that new thought will come. So you've
Yeah.
got a thank you here and you've got a thank you here. And what happens when that new thought comes? You have another thank you.
Thank you.
And so you walk
Gratitude.
away in gratitude, and maybe there's a shadow of that first negative thought, but it's largely gone
Mm,
because you've been in gratitude and you've changed the energy of the situation by working with your creator. and what an incredible, powerful thing that is in a creator-centered life.
It is. It's empowering.
Yes.
That's the word, Beth. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It gives you the power.
And
Yeah,
then you create your life, and you're not in that victim triangle, stuck as a victim or a persecutor or a rescuer. You're
right.
in the space of a fellow creator, and
Yeah.
you really do feel like you could pretty well do whatever you need to do. And all of
So
those beautiful seas are there.
it's so good.
It
Oh,
is so, so good. And
yeah.
we are celebrating this year that very thing because it was 7 years ago that creator-based coaching was born and that CMH coaching became its own business. You want to talk about how we're going to celebrate? Because we're going to do a whole year of celebration around here. It's going to be so fun.
So here's our word. It's an ancient word. Like,
Yes.
and I didn't realize it was so ancient, Beth, until till you introduced it to me. It's going to be the year of Jubilee. And
Yes.
yes, and or Simcha. Did I say it right?
Simha. Yes.
Ah,
Simha. The Hebrew word that sim means put, and
hmm.
ha means laughter, which means put laughter into your life, put joy into your life. A whole year of simha. I'm so excited because we're celebrating
We
7 years, a jubilee year for CMH coaching.
And it's going to be so good. Yeah, each week we'll have a different focus.
Mhm.
Um, but each month we'll have a theme and just come enjoy it. Join us for a year of Jubilee, a year of joy. I think so often we get focused on what's not going right, or
That's pretty easy to do right
I,
now.
I have anxiety. I have all of these
Or
burdens,
I am,
or I am.
or I have. Those are both victims, right?
Mhm.
When
They
you
are.
have something negative after them. But
Hmm.
I choose to. That's
Hmm.
different.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
choose to
Even if you're
come.
anxious, I choose to work with these anxious feelings is very different from I have anxiety.
Hmm.
Very different, very much an empowered position. And yeah, you might feel anxious. And I get that because I suffer from that too. But choosing the way I'm going to work with those feelings is very different from just telling people I have anxiety.
So true. It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Mm. It empowers us.
It empowers us because we are here to act. We're not here to be acted on. We're here as creators to create our life. And yeah, there
Right.
are lots of forces that want to act upon us, but we
Yes,
always get to choose how we will act. Which is
we
exactly
do.
what we talked about last week, that space at the bottom of the yo-yo spin where we
It,
get to choose. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so cool. So this is the last week of our, oh no, I guess there's next Monday, there's March. But our theme all month long was amazing. And I think it was pretty amazing.
Was.
And we
Yes.
were reading a couple of different books. This is in coach training and influencer training. We were reading The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson.
Mhm.
And it's really cool the way he talks about how energies affect our bodies and
Yes.
maybe get stuck or move through and how that affects our health. And then in a complementary fashion, we were also reading The Hidden Messages of Water, which is one of my
Oh.
all-time favorite books. Masaru Emoto and the experiments that he does with water. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it.
Just Google it. You'll get pictures like, oh
Yes, The
my
Hidden Messages of
God.
Water.
Mm.
So powerful. And it
Yeah.
just shows you the power that you have in your own life
Mhm.
when you look
Yeah.
at those snowflakes that he
Uh,
photo captures. It's
it's amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing. And then in book club, we were reading 3 miles per hour. And the author, oh, why am I spacing her name right now? Hang on.
Polly somebody.
Yeah, Polly. Polly, I know her first name.
It's just Polly because she talks about her
Polly.
first name fairly often.
Yeah, she walked the world, right? And
Yeah,
so, yeah,
a brave soul.
I remember
She was so committed.
Litovsky. That's right. That's why I don't remember. It's a little bit
Yeah.
more challenging.
It's an unusual name.
Yeah, and just with every challenge, and there were challenges everywhere. Like I didn't. know when I started reading about her trek through India, how she was possibly going to make it. But it was a choice every single day. And,
Well,
you
and
know,
I noticed
yeah,
that
so
there
many
were
times.
these, yeah, that there were these serendipities, if you will, where
Yes.
she was truly taken care of all the way through.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she
Yeah.
was, yeah, she was really making the choices to create her trip. There were very few times where she was like, I'm just going to give it up and haul it home. You know,
Yeah.
every time she was acting in faith in some way, knowing that it would, and I remember her saying once or twice anyway, well, it worked out in Denver. I guess it will work out in India. I don't know how it will work out, but I know it will work out.
But I'm gonna keep moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving forward, one
Yep.
thing after another. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things that we're doing this year for Jubilee, it in that idea of empowering women is to offer the Coach and Clear group at a discount. It's one of our Jubilee celebrations. It's usually $249 a month to do Coach and Clear, which if you think about it, 4 weeks in a month, you can come to Coach and Clear twice a week if you want to. It is just a steal of a deal to do 8 sessions, 8 coaching sessions for $250. That's what,
Right.
25, 25, $30 a session. It's not very much.
Yeah.
Um, but for our Jubilee year, we really want to open it up to more people. And so we're doing it for $100 a month, 99 to be precise.
Mhm.
And that still gives you membership in the 50/50 Girl Club. And of course, we always have the podcasts, but then all of the Coach and Clear sessions, we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You could do all of them or part of them and learn to be able to create the life that you want.
Oh my gosh.
Really, really powerful.
So
That
Beth,
group just, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm stuck on math. I'm like, okay, so it's $99 for a full month, and you can come twice a week,
Yep.
which is so
Between
that's
8 and 10 sessions a month, depending on the weeks.
that's $25 per
If
week.
there's
And you
10, yeah,
divide
if there's
that
10
by
sessions,
two,
it's only $10.
yeah, or 12.50, $12 and
Uh-huh.
50 cents for
So
this.
cheap.
Oh my
So
gosh.
cheap. It's less than buying a pizza.
Oh my
And
God.
you come for an hour. And when you first come in, we're just shooting the breeze, the way girls do. And we're talking about how our week went and where we had hard spots. Like Jacine might share what happened with the clinic last week. And people might suggest, oh, well, did you try this? Or maybe they'll just go, oh, you poor thing. That sounds terrible. So
Right.
you get your girl time and you get your sympathy. But as we move through, you can see one girl in the group will have a suggestion and then another girl will play off of that. And we just talk for just the first few minutes. And then coming in, once we're caught up, everybody begins to talk about, well, what would you really like to have happen because of this time? Because you're giving up an hour of your day. And not for nothing, but that 12.50 that session's costing
You're
is not
investing.
nearly
Yeah.
as precious as that hour in your day, right? I know how busy we are. So we take an hour all told, but the next step in that session after we've all caught up is what would make this a really valuable session for you? What would you like to have happen because of it? And we take all of those suggestions from the girls. Maybe somebody wants to sleep better, maybe somebody wants to have more energy, maybe somebody has a difficult person that they're working with. And we go through energetically and we do some clearing for the group as a whole.
Mhm.
And it has when we started this a year and a half ago now, I really didn't know how it was going to run. It was
Right.
just a suggestion from the Lord. It was just an inspiration. You should do this. And I'm like, sure, okay, I'll do it. And then I got to the first session and went, how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't know. So we just followed it and it has grown into invariably, I mean, week after week after week, the things that come up that we need to clear for benefit everyone so that they can move forward unencumbered into their week. And
Yeah.
when we've done the clearing session, everybody does their own clearing, but I guide it.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like a guided imagery or a guided um, talk session. Just I guide it. And people have their journals and they're writing in their journal. And when it's done, everybody has what they need to do for the next 7 days written
Right.
down in their journal, what their inspiration is. And generally we'll make a meme while we're there, and everybody has a meme to take for their phone background for the week. And
Mhm.
they have something to guide their thoughts and to continue to inspire them and to move forward. And it has been really, really powerful. I'm so grateful that I took the suggestion and said, oh, I could do that. And I'm so glad that when I didn't know how to do that, I just did it and listened. But we'll just keep going, which is why we made the second group,
Mhm. Yeah.
because it is a really wonderful way. And it's a small group, which I love, almost a mastermind size. It's between 4 and 6 usually. We won't let it get bigger than 8 because that's just too many people. We'll just make another group before we'll do that, because you want that intimacy where you feel safe in being able to share what happened in your life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you really don't get the benefit.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting because those that come in, because you guys might be thinking out there, well, they've already got these groups. I'm going to feel weird coming in,
Nope.
but it's so interesting. I think women have the natural ability to welcome others,
Yeah.
and it's really the women in this group are not judgers. They're not there judging somebody else. It's so different than how the world presents women, that you have to step on other women and you have to compete with them and you have to look prettier or sound smarter or whatever. That this group is not that,
Not, no,
not that at all.
no. They are just open-hearted, great women. And they're
Mhm.
all faith-based, one
Yeah.
way or another, and well, I should say creator-based, which
Yeah.
is faith-based. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just safe. It's a very, very safe place that you can choose to be at peace and heal, because all of us have stuff we need to heal.
We do.
So
Mhm.
I'm just excited to be able to offer it as Jubilee. And it's going to be, we'll talk about Jubilee all year long in that group,
Yeah.
little bits at a time. We'll celebrate it more deeply in Mastermind. And where we're really going to do it is when we do the influencer training,
Oh my
which
gosh.
starts on the 7th of April. And we'll do a deep dive. That's an hour every week with the coaches who will work with you as you study, and we all learn together. Enjoy in Simha. Yeah. So it's going to just be fantastic. A full year. I'm just so blessed. So
Hmm.
blessed. But a full year of 50-50,
Yes.
which means it's going to have sunshine and rain.
Well,
Yeah. And we can be happy and learn from all of it. It'll be great.
learn from each other and strengthen each other and
Yeah.
build one another up, because the world knocks us down, but we don't have to
We don't have
stay.
to stay down. One of my very favorite songs of all time is Chumbawamba. And my kids laugh at me every time I get knocked down, but I get up again. Ain't nobody going to keep me down. And
Oh,
I just love it. And when I fell in love with it, memorized the words, and I used to sing it all the time. And my kids would go, Mom, it's a bar song. Don't sing that. But that
oh,
message, I
you.
get knocked down, but I get up again. That's life. It's a 50-50 life. You get knocked down, you get up again. You skin
You.
your knees, you get up again. It's just what
You.
it is. Yeah.
You.
Chumbawamba. Pretty funny.
That's great. On that note,
On that note, we're going to go back to a creator based life where you get to choose how you want it to go. And you can respond to anything that comes your way in a way that will help you be empowered and in control, in charge, no matter what it is. I promise. No matter what it is, there is a creator based way. I've learned it. And we've been through some real tough times, but you still can choose and you still can create it yourself.
that's a beautiful
So,
thought. And if you
yeah,
can't believe it, just hope.
you can hope that you can believe it. One of my favorite ways to say that is I can't believe something, I'm willing to believe it. If I'm
Hmm.
just willing to believe it, that's enough to get my foot in the door. And I
Hmm.
don't know how long I have to stand there till I feel comfortable with the other foot, but I'm willing. And so I
Oh,
can stay there. until I can believe it.
I
But
love
it's
it.
truth.
Yeah,
We were born creators. It's truth.
yes.
So I think next week we will officially we'll be like warm up for Jubilee. So stay tuned. Yeah, because the 7th of April, 1st of April, it really does happen. And I think that's next Monday.
It is Monday. The 31st is Monday.
Oh, then next Tuesday, we will officially begin Jubilee. Join us because it's going to be remarkable. We will see you next week. And maybe we'll have Jen, which would be so sweet.
I hope so. Miss her.
I can choose to be
Yeah.
happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Whoa, day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. What you thinking? 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 You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.